Hi everybody. Happy Tuesday. That's the day I'm doing this. I don't know about you, but this energy has been off the charts crazy. Last week we had the Lions Gate. That's just closed probably about Sunday. I think it closed on the 12th. So that brought in a lot of energy, even though it's positive to kind of allow to help us manifest or to bring things to our awareness. It can also make things feel a bit chaotic. And I know I have felt that way over the past week or so. So I'm going to do a collective message for all of us. I'm going to pick 3 cards, and then I'm going to also pick 1 card out of another deck to give a more spiritual message. And so I hope everybody's doing well. It's summertime, it's August. I know my daughter's getting ready to go back to school. She's gonna be a junior in high school. And so I know everybody's probably caught up at what I call the back to school madness or end of summer madness, where we're trying to enjoy what we can of what's left of the summer. And we still, though, have our classes going here. If there's anything like meditations, sound healings, we have different services if you need to come in and relax or take a break from the busy chaos of life. Okay, so I'm just randomly picking. And then I'll explain. I'm using, it's just Archangel Power tarot cards. So they're tarot cards, and I like working with them, that particular deck, because I understand tarot and I understand oracle, and I also work with angels. So sometimes it puts things into a little different perspective for all of my clients. We also have a blue moon this month. So we have 2 full moons in 1 month. So that also kind of adds to the wonkiness that we're all feeling. I'll share. Yeah. Very interesting. So I did a past, present, future pull. So just kind of to see what's passing away, what's coming in to the immediate future, into our present, and then maybe just like a little bit out into the future, where it's a collective reading. So with the energies going on, Archangel Uriel, it's the Emperor card. This is what's shifting. So from personal experience, Archangel Uriel, he can make stuff happen. He helps us. He's fiery, so he'll come in and push you and help make things happen. But he also isn't gonna pay extra attention to what makes you uncomfortable. What that means is the times I've had to work with Uriel, he has always led me in the right way, meaning he'll encourage me, like, you gotta do this in your life. It's time to make this change. It's time for this transition. And like a typical us humans, we don't like being uncomfortable. We don't like, even if we know it's a good choice, something that's good for us, positive, or that's going to make a big difference in our life, or even shift us out of something that's toxic. It's that old term, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. So a lot of us get fearful of making a change or transition, and we can procrastinate around that. We can sometimes block it because of fear, if that makes sense, even if it is in our best interest. So when Uriel shows up, or like this card, it's like, yeah, no, you've done that long enough. We're not going to do that anymore. So I'm going to give you a little nudge. and here comes some chaos, right? Like, or just, oh my God, how can this all happen at the same time? But with this card means is it's there's stability, there's efficiency that comes out of it. It really is about taking charge of your life, of a situation, so you can change it. So that way it's not toxic anymore, not toxic for you anymore. It can be about setting limits, setting boundaries. It can be about switching jobs or careers. It can be something to do with family. But the theme with it would be making a change, creating new plans, and taking charge of a situation yourself, which is what Archangel Uriel assists us with. So that would be what's kind of shifting. If you've had any chaos in the past few weeks, past month, past few months, something that maybe you know you need to change in your life to create stability and efficiency, but maybe you've had some fear, that part is going to start to shift. And we move into, this is Archangel Michael, but it's the Queen of Archangel Michael's card, which would be like a Queen of Swords in the regular tarot deck. And this is what's coming in to help you now. And the Queen, this card, the Queen card, is really about that part of you that is insightful, that actually has a sense of humor, is intelligent and smart and self-reliant, and sometimes we don't realize we are. This would be a card about that you actually know what to do inside. You just might not be have the confidence to know, but it means you do know it, and it's trying to validate that in you, that you've had a past experience. It's a card too that rather than bringing focus on relationships or having relationships, some of them suck the life out of you, that you shift your focus into your passion, into your purpose, into your career, whether it's that is your career or it's just something you're passionate about, that you want to focus on, move towards. So whether that's a program, a class, a training, career, again, job, or just shifting focus away from relationships that have been sucking the life out of you. Sometimes we can't avoid that, whether you have to work with somebody, live with somebody, have a family member, friends. Sometimes it's not really in our realm to really be like, I can cut this person out of my life, where we might think about it, but sometimes realize that might not be the best course of action. But I'm going to create some space. I'm going to set a boundary. Just going to create some space so I can collect my thoughts and shift my focus, and bring my energy back to myself so I can focus on what is in front of me, where my passion, where that inspiration that comes right from here. Inspiration comes from the third chakra, and it motivates you to take some action steps. So which would be then into the future is Archangel Gabriel. And this is the number 9. So it'd be like the 9 of Wands in the traditional tarot. And this is a good card. It's not a bad one. It really is, though, about staying determined and moving forward. When I think of the energy of the past, it just seems relentless. It seems like it started since before the pandemic. And it's, I think all of us are probably tired of saying like, oh, this energy. So there is this relentless energy. It's like it's constantly moving. It's constantly changing. And I think we're just working to try to adapt with how fast things are shifting and moving. So this card is telling you like not to get discouraged, to stay determined, keep your focus, move forward, put one foot in front of the other, and be open to possibilities, to any possibility, opportunities showing up. Gabriel is the patron angel of entrepreneurs. He's a patron of many different things, but those of us who think, like whether it's wanting a business, starting a new endeavor. I look at the imagery on this card, And I see a garden behind the gentleman, the farmer. So he's planting seeds. He's planting a garden. So the imagery in the cards sometimes can show us lots of things, and so this card to me too is it's knowing like you have planted your seeds, you have things being nurtured and growing, and you'll manifest and things will blossom from that, and to be open to the possibilities. It's like my husband the other day, because we have a garden, and I forgot what vegetable it was that he planted, but it had mixed with some other seeds that he wasn't aware of from last year. And pleasantly, we were surprised that we have broccoli growing. So it's similar, I mean, about growing things in your life. That's the possibilities to be open to, though, is like, okay, these are the three things I'm focused on, but also this. This is a extra surprise, which is a blessing. So it's be open to receiving that. Where the garden shows where things are just starting to bud and grow from the ground in this image, it means be patient with yourself or tolerant of yourself, allowing these opportunities to appear, and even when you sometimes are not sure they're going to. Sometimes that's the hardest part about being human. We like the safety and security of knowing the direction things are going to move in. And a lot of that can come from our choices or how we choose to move forward. But it's always nice to feel a little reassurance or know, kind of some guidance of where things are gonna be. So, we had Uriel show up, we had Michael and Gabriel. So powerful archangels. Uriel, as I said, he's got the lightning bolt in his hand. He's fire, light of God, is what his name means. So they often show him with a lantern too. So he lights the way, but he exposes what's in the dark when he does that. And sometimes it's like, ooh, you can get uncomfortable because he's like, yeah, see that? That's not working for us. You weren't aware that was there. Whether it was you were blinded, covered up, didn't want to look at it. He makes those things come up to the surface, but it also helps move you forward and take charge of a situation. Then we have Michael here in the present, as I talked about already, but he gives you courage. And I always say that courage does not come without fear. Courage does not mean that lack of fear or absence of fear. We're humans. We're always going to get fearful about stuff. We're wired to be that way. The courage just means you kind of push through it, knowing that you can, and that you can take positive risks or chances on dreams and things that inspire you, and do it. Can be a big thing, can be a little thing. Not one thing is more important than another. And then again, we have Gabriel, who's like, he also is a divine messenger. He helps with communication, but also he's around divine revelation. So those things that you get inspired about, when you want to move them forward and put them into action, he helps you stay focused on that, being determined, and being prepared for those opportunities. So overall, it looks like over the next month or so, there might be a lot of energy moving or things coming up that may feel chaotic, but that will start to shift where you can move your focus so you're not getting drained by that chaos. You can focus on, again, in a nutshell, those things that have been inspiring you or been on your mind that maybe you haven't paid attention to. And then in the long run, it's saying to focus on the opportunities and the possibilities that come in. So also I would say that is also guiding you to not ignore those possibilities, not to focus on the negative. The negative, is going to creep up, and it doesn't mean to be ignorant to guidance, but also just kind of being mindful of like, okay, that's that negative voice in my head again, really giving me a hard time. Sometimes it gets in the way, and that's where we need this Michael's sword to kind of help push us forward. So the other message that I'm going to talk about is this card. And the book just gives such a beautiful description, so that's where I'm going to talk about. But it's Nana Baluku, which means she rests to create. You know, so as I'm talking about this chaos energy, it can be exhausting, exhausting. And so there'd be that a time to be able to take a rest. So her message is your energy is a precious resource. And there are ways of being that can enhance, amplify, and replenish it. So give yourself sufficient rest, and you shall find the way forward more effortlessly. Explore the lifestyle that grows your inner resources, rather than requiring constant exertion and exhaustion to accomplish an endless list of external pursuits. You need this shift in being now because you're ready to accomplish more. For this to take place, there needs to be less effort and more wisdom. Trust and value what can be achieved through rest. It's a good message for me too. Being an entrepreneur myself, sometimes you can't help but get on a hamster wheel. And I noticed that when things blossom the most for me in my personal life, career, is usually when I take a step back and not put so much effort. It just kind of floats in. So this is a card saying you do have the energy you need to bring your sacred visions to life. When your vision and your purpose is alive within the heart space, it's hard to get exhausted, if that makes any sense. You'll have boundless energy. It doesn't mean you don't sleep and you don't eat, but because it actually brings you to life rather than drain the energy, that's usually where we get exhausted. It doesn't mean you don't have to learn where your limits and your boundaries are within it, but your energy becomes higher, if that makes any sense. So, and it's regenerating that energy. That's what this message is talking about, like this regenerating, peaceful, joyful energy kind of keeps you full with life force energy. So just, Nana Baluku is the grandmother creatrix, the supreme feminine creative principle in the West African myth. They say that she created the earth, or the whole universe actually, and then she rested. The intersection of rest and extraordinary creative powers repeated in numerous spiritual traditions from cultures around the world. So the theme's also present in the lives of inspirational innovators in disciplines ranging from the sciences to the arts. So African spirituality is based on a holistic view where no issue in one's life is separate from the spiritual worlds. Recognizing that spirit is intimately involved and lovingly invested in every single aspect of your life is how you begin to generate restful consciousness. Yep. I think that's beautiful because it says from a place of restful consciousness you can make profound progress. You can release striving and pursuit in favor of activity that comes from a place of inner inspiration. It was what I was talking about earlier before I even went over this card. It's born from rest. So in mystical traditions of many cultures, it's considered that we incubate in silence and spaciousness in periods of rest through the invisible workings of the most willing and loving spirit. All quiet and openness are responded to with renewed energy. So it's saying that conscious resting is a sacred subversion, rather than that chaos energy of chasing your tail. I think a lot of us might be familiar with this. Kind of shifts you out of that and gives you that space you need to kind of reset and rejuvenate and get back into alignment. So I would say that that's a really good message that we can all be mindful of. And I hope that you enjoy this video. And I look forward to, connecting, doing future videos. And if you wish to check out our website, The Soul Purpose, it's The Soul Purpose, MA, as in Massachusetts, MA kozak.com. You can see all our events, what's coming, all our services, my certification classes, and more. Thank you.